G'day YouTube, welcome to another episode of the Friday Vape Club. That's right, the social justice vapes. Today we are looking at a sub-ohm tank. This is the Wismec Trough Tank. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right, T-R-O-U-G-H. It's not Trug, I think it's the Trough. That is a very unfortunate name because in Australia, a trough is what a guy goes to have a piss. It's called a piss trough.
Piss trough.
Let me just tell you, you don't need to see this review because this thing is a fucking piss trough. It is atrocious. But we will dive down, we're going to take a quick look around it. Then we will jump back up top, we'll do the pros, cons, price, if I would recommend this thing or not. So check it out, watch the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to smash that like button. Let's take a look at this Wismec Trough sub-ohm tank. Alright, so here we're having a closer look at the Wismec Trough sub-ohm tank. This thing is 28 millimeters in diameter and it is 50 millimeters tall. It is primarily made of stainless steel and you do have the glass here. Some little specs about this: it does hold 6.5 mils of liquid. That's a shit ton of liquid. You can get two different variations of this. So Wismec have released one with a child-proof cap, or you can get the sort of slide filling system, which is what I've got here. The coils in this are made of 30% wood pulp, 70% cotton, and they are mesh coils. They call it the WT version coils. They have a more accurate liquid leading function, and the diamond shaped mesh, which I'll show a picture of here, it's supposed to help with a larger heating area and more uniformed heating. So let's take a quick look around this thing. Up the top here, you do have an 810 drip tip. You've got the O-rings on the inside here, so it's friction fit. Here is your top fill system. To fill this thing up, look for that little cutout and then just slide from there. That is where you fill the device. It's got a little slot there. And this is supposed to help with sealing and creating that vacuum inside your sub-ohm tank. I think it works really well because I haven't had this leak on me at all, which has been great. Down here, you do have some knurling around the top. I really like the way this has been designed. Kind of gives it a little bit of a gear, sort of mechanically type look and feel. Makes it very easy to grip to unscrew this. You do have your 6.5 mil bubble glass. It does come with a spare bubble glass. And then you've got your coil on the inside, some pretty large wick ports on the coil, but we'll take a look at those in a minute. Down here, you've got the same knurling that you did have up the top, and you've got two massive, massive airflow. Very easy to adjust. It has a very nice amount of tension and resistance to that airflow. And then underneath, you've got the usual shit. Trough, Wismec, gold-plated floating 510 pin. Wouldn't use this on a hybrid mechanical device. Let's take a look at how this all comes apart and the coil. There you go. It simply unscrews like so. You can pop the bubble glass off. It is held in place with an O-ring, so it makes it very easy to clean and to put back together. This is the WT01 mesh coil. This is the single coil that comes with it. I've used this for a week now and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down, which is unfortunate because it's not a very good coil. Yeah, sure, it's lasted ages, but the flavor that I get off this is actually pretty shit. See the mesh in there? See how large that mesh is? See how large those holes are? I just don't think that is creating any flavor at all. This is a 0.35 ohm coil and it's good from around 30 to 50 watts. So if you're after that really warm vape, this is probably not for you. Let's take a look at the packaging, shall we?
Packaging.
Here we have the packaging for the Wismec Trough. It is one of these tubey things. On the front, you do have the Wismec Trough picture. Down here, you've got the contents, some usual shit that you would expect. you're gonna get a lot of glare, sorry. Open her up and your device is sitting here. You pull this whole thing out and just everything comes with it. Tucked under the foam, you do receive a spare bubble glass section. You do get the WTO2 coil. This is a 0.02 coil that is good from 30 to 70 watts. Some pretty large wicking ports. Again, it is the 30% wood pulp, 70% cotton. You do get a bag of spare O-rings and sorts. You do get a weird user manual. And you do get this little card telling you about the coils. The Wismec Trough. Let's jump back up top. Let's do pros, cons, price, and if I would recommend this or not. So we had a quick look at the Wismec Trough sub-ohm tank. I have got the 0.35 mesh ohm coil head in here, sitting on my Vaporesso Gen, 45 fucking wattos. Let's take it for a toot. There you had it. So let's talk about flavor cloud production airflow.
Flavor cloud production airflow.
Flavor of this thing is very, very, very muted.
It's fucking bland.
I have not been enjoying using this at all. I am using a Bogan Brews juice in here, one that I know very well, and it is not tasting like that juice at all. It is really muted flavor. I would give this a flavor rating of 5 out of 10. Honestly, it is terrible. And I think that is due to the new mesh type. It's not very mesh, it's kind of a very open mesh. And I think that's just, they're losing a lot of flavor because of that. Airflow is super wide open. I love the airflow on this. I actually really, really dig that. That's probably the only bit about this I like, but it is very open. I also think that's adding to the loss of flavor. The more open the airflow, the less dense the vapor is going to get and the less flavor you're going to have. So I think the airflow is actually impacting the flavor a little bit. Didn't make a lick of difference when I turned this down to fucking 3/4 or 50% airflow. Still had that muted flavor. And the cloud production, yep, it's a sub-ohm tank. It produces clouds. So let's get into the pros and cons for this.
Pros.
So there is a couple of pros for this. One is this push fill system up the top. It works very well, and I like that it's got the little lip in there. Sometimes these grommets don't seal completely, and then you don't have your vacuum inside your sub-ohm tank and it leaks. So I have found that that has worked very well, and I haven't had any leaking with this at all. So no leaking, great push fill system. And the other one is I dig how it looks. It's a pretty good looking sub-ohm tank, I reckon. I'm a big fan of it. So yeah, I like the way it looks. That's the only 2 pros that I've got for this. Let's do the cons.
Cons.
My mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. So I'm probably not going to say many cons for this. Just know that I do not like this. So you know the flavor I thought was very light on, so that's a massive con. With the drip tip, when you open this up, when you push it open and you try and fill it with a chubby Gorilla about 120 mil, you cannot get the tip in.
Can't get the tip in.
If you try to do it, you end up spilling juice all down the side. So that's one massive flaw. You actually have to take the drip tip out for you to then fill it up. And that is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Other little cosmetic things like the drip tip doesn't fit all the way down. The mesh coil heads are horrible. I don't know what they're doing with that wood pulp and that cotton. It's just a shitty sub-ohm tank. Honestly, I don't know why Wismec released it. I think it's just a little bit of a, we didn't have anything new, so let's chuck this out there. It's such a shame though, because I do love Wismec. All right, so what is the Wismec Trough gonna set you back?
Price.
A little bit of Google foo around the internet, and I found this in the States for 25 bucks and around about $45 here in Australia. Would I recommend it for that? Probably not. I would say go and invest that money somewhere else.
Like meth.
So if I had to give this sub-ohm tank a rating out of best device ever or worst device ever, nothing in between, just best or worst, this fits into the worst category. Honestly, if you're after a really good sub-ohm tank, go and get the Freemax Fire Loop 2. Go and get the Falcon King. Go and get the Next Mesh. They are 3 really great sub-ohm tanks. The Valerian 2 is another fantastic, fantastic sub-ohm tank. Will not be disappointed by those. Wismec, you missed the mark, guys. Really did. That's all I've got time for today, guys. I really hope you enjoy it. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe. And remember, YouTube, keep it cloudy.
I got a slut production.